Okay, 3:15. This is a simple express.js application. We are going to check cookie settings with it. For startup express.js web application, we use what the framework offered. Here is the folder structure. The app.js is the node.js script for express application. As the name suggests, there are folders of bin, root, public, and views. These are subfolders. Bin gets some files to run. Root is the subfolder to organize URL routines. Views is subfolder has web page templates. Public supposed to serve static files. All those comes from Express generator. You can read their documents. It's simple enough. Then we just modify a little bit from the original code generated by express.js. The app.js file, we did small editing, very simple. We copy and paste the content of the file in the subfolder bin named www into app.js. Because we want to get easier to load the file, we want put them in a single file. We add a function as middleware. Let app use the function. The function name is watcher. It supposes to watch inside the application. The job of the function watcher is to keep a reference of request and response. Those request and response objects are commonly called rec and res in express.js or node.js, such as connect codings. Okay, we didn't do too much changes. Let's load it into node shell. The .command can be listed out by .help in node shell. This is the shell. Someone called it an interpreter or read eval print loop repo. Often we get this kind of interactive environment with the scripting programming language. It's okay. We just load the script file of app.js, which we just modified a little. It shows the server is waiting for request at port number 3300. We can go to web browser and fire up a web page request in the browser. We get some console logins in the node shell. It shows the application server just served the file, the web page. Return to view the file of app.js, what we just load into the node shell. This is actually very simple. We can see the cookie parser is the default setting, and the app use cookie parser. If we read the cookie parser source code, we can see cookie parser is a function. The function returns a function of in the form of express.js middleware, and it checks the request object. If it has cookies, then it passes away by calling return next. The next is a function offered by express.js. It's supposed to go next. If it didn't have cookies in request object, then a variable cookies get from request headers cookies. Then prepare request secret, request cookies, and request send cookies. Then if there is no cookies, again it pass away by return next function call. Otherwise, the request cookie will be set by passing the cookies and set up the request send cookie if there is secrets. And if we got to this point, request object will get attribute of cookies by JSON cookie settings. Then go to next. So the cookie is very simple middleware. And this is our watcher. Also, it works as a middleware for Express framework. We let the app use our watcher. And in the last of the file, at the end of the file, we let app listen on port. Port number is 3300. This is what we load into our node shell. We can check about the cookies. If it's first time you load the application and just serve the web page, the cookie may be empty because no cookie has been set. HTTP cookie. There are plenty online documents about the HTTP cookie. An HTTP cookie, also called web cookie, internet cookie, browser cookie, or simple cookie, quote from the Wikipedia document, is a small piece of data sent from a website and stored in the user's web browser while user is browsing it. So every time the user loads the website, the browser sends the cookie back to the server to notify user's previous activity. Some would use cookie as tracking cookie. It's somehow most people don't like it, tracking cookies. Other kind of cookie perform essential functions in the modern web. Perhaps most importantly, authentication cookies are the most common method used by web servers to know whether the user is logged in or not, and which account they are logging with. Without such a mechanism, the site would not know whether to send a page containing sensitive information or require the user to authenticate themselves by logging. The security of an authentication cookie generally depends on the security of the issuing website and the user's web browser. No one can guarantee total security safe and whether the cookie data is encrypted. Security vulnerability may allow a cookie state be read by hackers, used to gain access to user data, or used to gain access with the user's credentials to the website to which the cookie belongs. Let's try to add some cookie inside our middleware. So each time a web page is served, it will set a cookie. We do this to check if we can get the cookie in our shell and read the content of the cookie. We are not supposed to be very seriously. We just play with it. The response object has the function of cookie. We can set name and value by this function calling. So we modify our middleware, and after that we are going to reload our application in the Node shell and check the results. And as a stupid programmer, we can do it again and again to check those cookie settings. In the request object, because we have the middleware named watcher, it will keep reference. Let us access those request response object, but always after the web page being served. Okay. We're supposed to play with the interpreter for a little longer. We're not going to record everything in this video. We're going to, but hopefully you'll get the basic idea how we check the cookie and the HTTP request object with the inside the node interpreter, the node shell with a simple express.js application, a very simple application script loaded into the node shell. It's the purpose of our tutorial. Thanks for watching. Thank you.